On January 18, the UN Global Compact Network Georgia and the publisher of Economist magazine in Georgia, Georgia Today Group, held a forum on business and human rights at the Sheraton Grand Tbilisi Metechi Palace Hotel. Salome Zurabishvili, executive director of the UN Global Compact Network Georgia, George Sharashidze, founder and general manager of Georgia Today Group and publisher of the Economist magazine in Georgia, Tinatin Genebashvili, National Program Officer at the Embassy of Sweden in Tbilisi, and General Manager of Sheraton Grand Tbilisi Metechi Palace, Trifonov, delivered the welcome speeches at the event.
It has been the third time that the UN Global Compact has been organizing a Business and Human Rights Forum. And the main areas that we touched upon during this forum were the diversity at the workplace and marketplace, how to promote diversity in the business sector, but also how to ensure decent working environment for the employees of the companies that are based in Georgia.
It's a great honor and a pleasure for me as a publisher of Georgia Today newspaper and the founder of Georgia Today Group to be amongst the main organizers of such an important event, such an important panel discussion related to the Global Compact and the UN Global Development Goals for Sustainable Development. I believe that we will continue such kind of a very mutually beneficial cooperation with international organizations, businesses, and the state, of course.
During the first part of the event, Tbilisi, advisor to the Prime Minister on human rights issues, presented business and human rights at the policy level in Georgia. He shared interesting insights into what the government is doing and how business and human rights is integrated into the human rights strategy, as well as the action plan the government is to start working on in the upcoming months. The second part of the event was devoted to panel discussions. Invited speakers from the private sector talked about the implementation of SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, with a focus on Georgia in the first panel, while the second panel was dedicated to a discussion on creating a diverse and inclusive environment in the workplace. Salome Zurabishvili led the first panel as a moderator, and guest speakers included Nicholas Kuntekishvili, Corporate Affairs Director of FS Georgia, Kvanta Morguliani, Head of Human Capital Management Department at TBC Bank, Anna Kuchaleshvili, Head of Business Development and Administration at BeamCube, and HR Director of GPA Holding, Nino Khachapuridze. All share their experiences and opinions on corporate responsibility with regards to human rights.
Gender equality is very important, especially in the field of IT technologies. Currently, TBC has more than 30% of female represented in technologies, and we're encouraging more and more girls and women to be a part of this direction.
As a takeaway from this very event, I can state that we, the big companies, should share our experience, especially to the small and medium enterprises, and them to have the good understanding that how these SDG developments will contribute to their development as well.
UNDP Human Rights, Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Unit Manager Lela Kiashvili was the moderator on the second panel, which welcomed Nino Enokidze, Rector of Business and Technology University, Ananadola Beridze, CEO and co-founder of FABA and managing partner of BDO Georgia, Zurab Lelazashvili.
I gave some background, what we are doing in our firm, what the practice we have, especially in diversity inclusion, especially in discrimination, and what the tools we are using, what the policies we are using, how we are kind of giving the information to our staff, how the awareness inside our organization is rising.
The panelists were sharing a really valuable experience regarding the sustainability and all the documentation, all the legislation which works in their organizations. So I was happy to be part of the panelist members, and I do hope that the sustainability discussion will continue. It will cover organizations not only in Tbilisi but in the regions also.
The Forum on Business and Human Rights was held within the framework of the UN Global Compact Georgia Network Project Leadership for Sustainable Development in Georgia, with the support of the Swedish government. Georgia Today and Sheraton Grand Tbilisi Metechi Palace were partners of the event.